Welcome to Joy in Our Town. I'm Pastor D. Robinson. Technology and the media are occupying the minds of our youth, and the messaging, for the most part, is anything but positive. But first, children of prisoners are 7 times more likely to become incarcerated, drop out of school, and experience teen pregnancy. Families of prisoners are largely ignored by society and face great challenges. But there is one organization whose mission is to let families of the incarcerated know they're not forgotten. Danny Sanchez from KNAT-TV in Albuquerque, New Mexico, has our report.
Well, today we have Ann Edenfield, the executive director and founder of Wings for Life International. It's so good to have you with us.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here today.
You know, tell us a little bit about how Wings for Life International was created.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of things get started because of problems and tragedies. And my first husband was arrested, ended up going to prison, had a 15-year prison sentence. And I was home alone with 4 little boys and realized that we needed to do something.
So why do you think Wings for Life is so necessary?
Wings for Life is so necessary today, and programs like it, because our statistics are staggering across our country. 72% of children of prisoners are going to prison. I have 4 boys. That means 3 of my 4 boys should be in prison right now. And behind every person in prison, 33 to 38 other people are directly impacted. So that's bigger than our U.S. population. Incarceration is out of control today.
How many children here in New Mexico have a parent in prison?
There are so many children across America that have parents in prison, but in New Mexico alone, we have 52,000 plus children. And this doesn't count the children of any federal inmates, and because we have no federal prisons in New Mexico. So it's 1 out of 10 children in an American classroom have a parent in prison or jail.
With so many children at risk for this, what would you think some of the greatest challenges are for these children?
Well, the greatest challenge for the children is that, first of all, they don't have 2 parents at home. And oftentimes they grow up in a household. We teach something called the 40 Developmental Assets from Search Institute. These are guaranteed ways to cut at-risk behaviors. They're all biblical too, so I love them. But no community in America have the kids tested higher than 20 out of the 40. And so we are trying to teach, how do you build these developmental assets? The first one is family support. So many of these children don't have family support. They don't have a caring network, and they don't have healthy families to begin with. And so we're trying to teach and build healthy families.
So children in New Mexico, how do they compare to the rest of the nation?
Well, our children in New Mexico, we probably have about the same number percentage-wise across New Mexico as we do across the whole United States. It is estimated, as I just shared, 1 out of 10 children in an American classroom. And so our children, of course, in New Mexico, we tend to be number 1 or number 50 on the wrong side of that scale. And so the other studies show that our children are even more at risk here. And so the more that we can do to help and reach these families and to keep them from a life of crime and not doing what God intended, that's what we're trying to do.
You wrote a book called Family Arrested. Can you tell us what the term family arrested means?
Well, I always say my husband had a prison sentence. He went to prison. But I was really in a prison of my own. I suddenly had a $3.5 million IRS lien, church that didn't call me, neighbors that wouldn't come over. I became a leper here. But then I started writing, how did I deal with the children? How did I deal with the questions? Where is your husband? How did I deal with the $3.5 million IRS lien and try to raise 4 boys with no money? I got turned down for food stamps because I knew the woman. And she threw the paperwork at me and told me she didn't think we needed it. And so it's very difficult when you have somebody arrested. Truly, the family is arrested.
There's obviously the issues of connection, misconnection. We talked earlier a little bit about even doing a federal, when you're in federal prison, often there's not one in New Mexico, so they're going to be far away, so you can't really visit each other.
That's right. Yeah. The impact on the family is just really so amazing. I had no idea. In fact, before my husband got arrested, I never even thought about families of prisoners. It was just something I didn't even think about. An inmate is cared for, is fed, is housed, is told what to do, when to do it, where to go, and all of the rules. No one is there for the families. And so we need to be there for the families, and that's what WINGS does.
Coming up.
WINGS for Life stands for life skills imparted to families through education.
WINGS for Life International Ministry springs from the passion of caring people and the deep concern they have to help families of prisoners. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Maui. This is the beautiful island we call home.
Isn't this amazing? Join us every week as we learn how to have healthy marriages and relationships.
All participants in WINGS for Life enjoy the interaction of volunteers working together from many different denominations. WINGS for Life International strives to build quality relationships and strong values in its participants. Ann Edenfield, Executive Director and founder of WINGS for Life International Ministries, explains the programs they have set in motion to minister to the families of the incarcerated.
WINGS has very concrete, small step programs that help build the environment at home so that when the prisoner returns, they're not returning to the same environment.
WINGS provides resources for the families of the incarcerated, and many times, or most often, the families of the incarcerated are the forgotten people, the forgotten population.
WINGS has been a place of support whenever I had problems or encountered obstacles or barriers. I felt free to talk to Ann about it, and she was such an open person that everything she came out with was a positive response. And she didn't give you an answer, she gave you choices to make and choose from.
The incarceration problem in our great country is the worst in the world.
When 7 out of every 10 children with a parent in prison will spend time behind bars, our community must intervene and support a unique and successful program to break the crippling cycle of incarceration.
The WINGS program works very diligently to prevent people from getting caught up in the prison cycle that their family has been in for years.
This program can make the change that we need. This program can break that generational cycle of incarceration.
WINGS for Life started here in Albuquerque, and we've now expanded into Ohio. We will soon be in Colorado, and it's a program that is needed in every community all across America.
The most important aspects of WINGS for Life is the education. Not only the education of the individual that has to learn public speaking skills, to learn social skills and employability skills, but also the education of the family and the friends.
WINGS teaches people life skills, especially people that have gotten out of prison or have been going down a path where their lives just weren't going right.
I firmly believe education is the #1 resource for eliminating the ongoing cycle of poverty and re-incarceration in our state.
Educating the family and friends helps that individual develop a sense of self-worth. That self-worth gives the purpose and meaning to life.
They all have the same goal, and that's basically reintegrate and be successful in whatever we're supposed to be doing, which is positive.
I've been volunteering since the day that I got out of a program and out of prison, and it's taught me how to just work with people.
I have to say, in almost 30 years of working with volunteers, I've never met more dedicated people than the ones that work with WINGS. We're a support network for them, and it's so nice to be a part of this because it comes from the heart.
Every Monday we serve dinner and talk with each other. We talk about what we've done that day, but then really what we do is we have a list of questions that we want to answer. So we have a discussion going on around the table, and it's amazing what an icebreaker this is. Everybody communicates, everybody gets together. The kids are seeing this because they're at the tables as well.
They always have a different speaker every week to teach you job skills, to teach you just different things that are available in the community that we weren't doing in our lives before.
Because I saw and met so many people that were so eager to give up their time volunteering. I am now spending time volunteering and doing volunteer service, not only with WINGS but other agencies, and find it really quite rewarding, better than anything else I've done in the past.
whole thing, the whole focus is mindfulness and celebrating each other and bonding with other family members. But they give you the ways to do it. They give you the tools to do it.
I, Gary Pennington, who has been incarcerated for 33 years, understands that I must take part in worthwhile projects, fulfill a need for personal growth, and contribute to society. Wings can do all three of those for me. And when I contribute to society, I not only help myself, I help my family and my friends, but I also help you as members of the community.
Currently in America, 1 in 30 Americans are in prison, jail, or probation and parole. Wings for Life can change that. We want to reach out, help these families, help these children. Why are we putting money into an incarceration program after the fact? Let's make a difference early in their lives where we can teach them the values, teach them the ways to make their lives productive. And we can do this at an early age, and that is our mission and that is our goal.
What do you do for the inmate?
We now have done family days in all our New Mexico prisons. We actually have had contracts with the New Mexico Corrections Department, and I've done work in over 20 states now. And we've actually changed whole prison cultures. And it's exciting because we get to bring God into the prisons. In the prisons, we dramatize scripture, we have singing, the inmates have alone time with their kids where they do crafts and activities, and then we eat together in a very intentional way. And most importantly, I think we bring hope. And we strengthen the families, we bring them together sometimes for the first time. Oftentimes it's the first time they've ever prayed with their loved one. So it's very, very exciting, and it's wonderful, blessed work that we get to do.
Wings for Life recently paid a 2-day visit to the Otero County Prison Facility, providing workshops, activities, and training specifically in the areas of communication, stretching a dollar, and how to get a job.
It's basically a workshop that'll help give us some life skills, some additional tools in our toolbox to help us when we leave our time here at Otero County.
It's good. It's good not only for our families and our future, but right now how to deal with living with other personalities and other guys and getting to know ourselves. So yeah, it's definitely useful and helpful.
To see that there are people on the outside that come in and they volunteer their time to spend with us to help us bridge that gap between being on the outside and reintroducing ourselves out into the community.
It has definitely given me the confidence to say, you know what, it's going to be hard when I get out there, but it's possible. I don't have to come back.
Next,